day, or every night, we answer a question.
Every night?
We answer a Q with an A.
All right, then. Now that we got that over with, today is going to be feelings. Have we done feelings? Have we done...
Feelings.
It's a song. We sing a lot on this. What is a lesson you have learned from being put through a trial?
Good one. I got to think of a trial that I would like to share.
Yes. How do we get real?
A lesson I've learned from a trial.
Always moving. That's a huge one. Being dependent.
That was like a long-term, many years in a row, ever-present state of never being secure or feeling like we had a place that we could really stay. It was always it's a temporary spot to another temporary spot. This works for now.
Your whole leg is in the shot. Hey.
I have pants on.
I know. It's like...
What'd you doing?
Your whole leg is like, hello there.
Did you hear my knee crack?
So back from the Thailand.
Thailand.
We are here to talk about trials. And what trials have we faced that we have overcome?
The question is, what is a lesson you have learned from being put through a trial? It's gone. Question's gone. So I would say that trials that stand out to me are when there's tension between friends because of miscommunication or tension with...
I know a story. Specific. So...
Yeah, go ahead.
So, to say...
Let's scrap this whole thing.
You want to scrap it? Well, we can just do it like this, right? Look in my eyes. This has been a train wreck and a trial.
Same.
Well, I just go into situations wild without thinking at times. And so people can pick out I say things weird or I don't say the right thing.
That's your trial?
No. One time I had a friend I was working at a place and I had a friend. Okay, I have a very tight friend group and we can joke around and laugh together. And they can pick at me. It's okay. We're friends. They know me. They know my heart. And it's not malicious intent. And when this person kind of joined our group, he picked up on what everyone else did and started picking on me, saying oh, you're ridiculous. And the way he would make fun of me was more malicious because I didn't know his heart. I didn't know who he was. So the trial was tension.
You didn't know if it was malicious.
Well, I didn't know it was malicious, but it wasn't
like
I didn't know him in the first place.
You weren't that close.
Yeah, you don't get that right to make fun of me unless I know you.
Right.
So, because I have sensitive skin. And so with that, we butted, I felt tension. So there was such a time of tension. And so to overcome that trial, I just sat with him and it was very uncomfortable. I sat with him. I said, hey, I know that everyone kind of makes fun of me, but when you do it, I'm not down with it. So can you please not do that around me? It was a super awkward, engaging conversation. And I'm glad I got it over with. I did it and took the boldness to confront him and say those very confronting things. And by doing that, it allowed me to continue to do that, stand up for myself, and not just stand up for myself, but just be very clear with my expectations. And if I'm hurt, letting people know and walking forward with that.
So what was your lesson?
My lesson
that you learned through your trial?
Be honest with people. Just don't beat around the bush. Just go straight to the source and say, hey, I didn't like that.
You're really good at that now. You're really good about going straight to a person, calling them on the phone right away as soon as there's a problem. You're really good about not letting things ruminate and marinate when it's it doesn't need to fester. Mm-hmm. You're good about just addressing situations directly head on, which is really admirable because that's hard even for me. That's hard. So
that was the trial. What trial were you gonna?
My trial, I was gonna say, was I feel like something that's just been in my mind and my heart lately is whenever if there's a miscommunication between friends, whether it's me or with another friend and someone else or whatever, it really tears me up. It's something that I can't sleep. It's hard to focus on anything else. I want to be like you in that I want to address it right away, but sometimes it's not the right time, or if you don't know the whole story or whatever it is, sometimes that can be hard. But I would say similarly to you, actually, like the lesson I've learned is like just to try to talk about it as quickly as you can and get the feelings out there. And sometimes things do need space and time for retrospect and to be able to put your thoughts together. Like I need time. I can't talk about things if I feel upset, but I do feel like as soon as you can put your thoughts together to have those conversations, and it's always so much better. And like friends that care about you and friends that you love, like are going to have those conversations with you, and you're always going to be stronger afterwards.
Yeah. I like that we kind of focused on trials,
I think,
with relationships. You know, I think we can grow a lot from that. And of course there's trials with death and different things like that, but I think that's super applicable in the season that we all can be in, is that trials with relationships are the most trying at times.
Well, and it's hard if you find yourself in a situation where you realize that your friendship isn't going to stand the test of this trial, and maybe you thought that it would, and then you realize that that person maybe isn't willing to fight for your friendship, or isn't willing to forgive, or isn't willing to move forward, or whatever it might be. And that's a hard lesson.
That conversation I was having with that guy, you know, through that trial, it was totally cool after that. We were able to connect. It was a little awkward at first because it was like, but when we worked through that, we actually became good friends. And it wasn't, and in my feeling, like going forward, my feelings, since I said my part or did my thing, whatever, to overcome that, and we worked through it. It was a healthy growth after that. I think that's the coolest thing about trials that the Lord puts in our lives, or we put in our lives at times. We have to recognize there's growth in trials. That it's growing us to be more mature, better communicators, or we are, you know, if we go through it with a bad attitude or bad heart, it's going to make us a nasty person at times, be bitter at the world. You either come bitter at the world or grow in your maturity.
Well, I was just going to say that the same thing. My very, very good bestest friend shared some advice with me about that. Just like in trials, always to say like, Lord, what are you teaching me? What are you showing me? All the time, regardless of the outcome I personally want, regardless of whatever my goal is in the situation, my goal with this friend, my goal with this person, my goal in life, whatever, how to get through this. If I want something, whatever, it doesn't matter, to just say like, Lord, what are you showing me? And to receive whatever he has to say, because it's probably also going to be things about you that need to grow and change.
Yeah.
And like you need to be open to that, because like with your only goal to be like, how do I be as Christ-like as possible, and how do I spur on someone else to be as Christ-like as possible? And that's the only goal. Everything else is like, oh, whether this gets resolved or it doesn't, like how are we all just trying to be more like Jesus right now? And that's hard sometimes to like just try to receive that, you know?
Because sometimes we are the problem.
True.
Well, thanks for joining us for Q&A today.
Do you know how hard it was for me not to make a Taylor Swift reference after you said that?
That's a song?
Really hard.
Is that something?
Are you going to make me do it?
No.
It's me.
All right.
Hi. I'm the problem.
Okay.
It's me.